Thank you, Travis. Good evening, viewers, and welcome to tonight's regional news. We begin with news from the Bahamas. Prince William and his wife Kate arrived in the Bahamas on Thursday for the third leg of the Caribbean tour that has been marked by protests over the British Empire's legacy and signs of waning influence of monarchical system. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge faced a protest by Belize villagers in a rally in Jamaica for slavery reparations, as well as unusually direct comments by Jamaica's Prime Minister about the country wanting to be independent. The tour comes after Barbados removed the Queen as head of state last year, a move other Commonwealth countries may follow and one that Jamaica has begun to study, potentially fueling a decline of British cultural influence in its former colonies. William and Kate arrived at the Linden Pineling International Airport and were greeted by Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper and Attorney General Ryan Pinder. During the visit, they were scheduled to attend an assembly at a primary school, compete in a sailing regatta, and participate in a cultural event featuring typical Bahamian food and music. A protest is planned for Friday by Rastafarian groups to demand reparation payments by Great Britain and an apology for slavery. The Bahamas National Reparations Committee, an independent panel created by the government to study the issue, made similar calls in a letter. We tell you now that the United States has pledged $1.5 million in urgent COVID-19 assistance through the United States Agency for International Development, UNAID, for countries in the Eastern Caribbean region, including the Bahamas, Guyana, Suriname, and Trinidad and Tobago. This assistance will be focused on helping countries with vaccine deployment and readiness and includes efforts to address vaccine hesitancy and combat vaccine mis- and disinformation. The additional support will assist with community vaccination campaigns and engagement activities, strengthen the cold chain environment, train healthcare workers, and develop regional and country-specific campaigns to increase vaccine uptake. Activities will be implemented through local, regional, and international organizations such as local ministries of health, local non-governmental organizations, the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, UNICEF, and USAID, Country Health Information Systems, and Data Use project implemented by SI Research and Training Institute, Inc. USAID has provided nearly $63 million in COVID-19 assistance to the Caribbean since the beginning of the pandemic to address health, humanitarian, and economic impacts. This includes over $7 million for partner countries in the Eastern and Southern Caribbean region. In addition to the over 300,000 vaccine doses from the U.S. government to Guyana, UNAID's partnership with the Ministry of Health Guyana has included prevention and vaccination messaging reaching nearly 70% of the population, distribution of critical hygiene and prevention supplies in indigenous communities, and tends to support mobile vaccination clinics in rural areas to increase vaccine accessibility and availability. Now for a final story coming out of Barbados. The Barbadian government will soon be setting up a new Constitution Review Commission, says Attorney General Dale Marshall, and he will be making recommendations about its membership to Prime Minister Mia Amour-Motley. Marshall made the comments recently during a courtesy call with an EU delegation. The Attorney General said a draft constitution had been prepared and he anticipates intense discussions during public consultations, which are expected to be held over a 12 to 18-month period. Marshall said government was gratified about the position as a lot of effort had been put into this area, including the passage of 4 important pieces of legislation. He underscored the importance of transparency to the Barbados government and pointed out that various amendments and tweaking had been made to the Integrity in Public Life Bill, which will be brought back to Parliament shortly. That has brought us to the end of tonight's regional news. Thank you for watching.